a very quick one. Let me explain. Let me explain with illustration what higher low, higher high, lower low, lower high. Generally speaking, when we talk about price movements, when it moves in a particular direction, it doesn't move in a straight line. Price in a particular direction doesn't not always move in a straight line. So because of that, it's just like the flow of a river. It's not always straight. Sometimes it bends and then it goes again to a set direction and then it bends again. So you don't expect price to also move in a straight line. Nothing in this life or in the world moves in a straight line. If you are going up, it will not be a straight line. Sometimes you have a kind of say a setback, and then you continue again. Most of the time, when it comes to price movement, too, if it's going in an upward direction, it might decide to do some kind of correction before going again. So when price is going in an uptrend and little corrections are happening, it forms lows and highs. As price is moving up, it forms lows and high. But when it's moving down, it forms highs. It forms highs and lows. So it's we can relate everything together actually. So, but for us to get a very good understanding of what I'm saying, we might need to zoom the chart. Let's zoom the chart in. Let's zoom it out so that we can understand it better. When you zoom out, you are able to get the specific points of the lows and the highs in a particular direction. For example, now from our last discussion, I told us that the moving average, once you see price above it, is indicating a potential bullish movement. That's the price is going up. Then when you see price below the moving average, it's indicating that price is moving down. So whichever way the price is going, it will form lows, to form highs, to form lows, to form highs, to form lows, to form high, to come and form low and form high again. So I will draw, let me use these two to draw it so that we can understand it better. This like price is already above the moving average. So let's draw it like this. This is 1 point. Okay. Let me pick another point. Then price moves from this point like this, comes up like this. Okay, let me take in the line so that it can be more obvious. Okay. Okay. Let me delete this and apply another one. Okay, so these are under movement up. Okay. You see another movement like this to this point. All right. We'll see another movement like this to this point. It's going up, but it's not moving in a straight line. Okay. Then you have another one like this. Then you have another one like this. Then all things being equal, you might have another one possibly like this, and then you might have it like this again to continue. So when you are talking about the highs and the low, this is one high, this is higher high, because this high is higher than this. When a bullish or upward movement is to start, it will change from higher high to, sorry, when we are in an upward movement, you'll be seeing that the highs will be becoming higher, to be going higher like this. This high is higher than this high is higher than this high is higher than this. So if we are to number it, let's say this is I1, that is I, H1, H2, H3, H4. So that means that we have H2 is higher than H1, H3 is higher than H2, H4 is lower than H3. So that is the higher highs. Also, as you move up, you are having higher highs in terms of the way the price is swinging up. Then below, you have higher lows too. So let's assume the low is L, L1, L2, L3, L4. So L2 is higher than L1, L3 higher than L2, L4 higher than L3. So that means we have higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. So that tells you that the market is in the uptrend. Then let's look at a scenario where price is in a downward trend. This is 4 hours. Let me see a scenario where we have price in a down movement. Okay, we can see this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Okay. Look at this. Look at this. Okay. So normally in a downtrend, what you will see is lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So I'm going to explain that. I will explain it now. So I don't want this video to be too long. So this is like a down movement, a downtrend. So price below the moving average. Let me remove this so that it will be easier to get. Okay, price is below moving average 89. So we have one high here. Let's say this is I1. Sorry, H1, H2, H3, H4, H5. So, and then we have L1, L2, L3, L4. So whenever you see that you have higher as a lower high, lower low, that is for down movement or down trend. For example, look at this one now. Let me pick some just to write. Okay. So here now you have let's say this is H2, this is H1, this is H3, this is H4, this is L1, this is L2, this is L3, this is L4. Okay, so in a down trend, you see something like this: higher, lower low, lower high, lower low. That means H2 will be lower than H1, H3 will be lower than H2, H4 will be lower than H3, L2 lower than L1, L3 lower than L2, L4 lower than L3. So that means the trend is it's a down trend. But when the trend is changing, once you begin to discover that you are beginning to change from lower high, lower low to higher high, higher low, then you should know that the trend is about to change. So this one now can be another, it can start the new way. And if you see the way it's going, you see that that was how it actually started, because this particular L4 is higher than this L3, meaning that the trend is about to change. So from here now, you begin to see something different. Instead of having higher high, lower high, lower low, you now begin to see higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Okay, this one doesn't really conform, but you see this one higher low, and then it's a kind of correction here. But generally speaking, when you see lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, that is downtrend. Then when you see higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, that is uptrend. And that's that for now. Thank you.